Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining this live masterclass. Hey, what's up, Instagram? What's up, Facebook? I'm going to invite you to join on YouTube, where I'm giving a live masterclass for the next half an hour. I'm only going to be on Instagram and Facebook just for a few minutes, just to say hi and invite you over to YouTube, where we're going to have the masterclass. Going to be talking about some harmony stuff. Going to be talking about some saxophone stuff. We're going to be talking about improvisation, how to get some rhythmic melodic melodies happening. Thank you for joining on Instagram and Facebook. Hey, we got some people joining on YouTube. Just going to wait a couple more minutes. But come on over to YouTube. It's just my page, Danny Janklow, on YouTube. We're going to do some learning together, because that's what we do. That's what we like. So I got my sax out. I'm going to start warming up with some stuff, and then we'll get into it. Come on over to YouTube. I'm going to shut this off in a few seconds on Facebook and Instagram. All right. Yeah, so come on over to YouTube, where we're going to get going on the masterclass. All right, Instagram, Facebook, it's been real. Come on over to YouTube, and we'll get started. Peace. All right. Awesome. Now it's just YouTube. Thank you, guys. Thanks for being here. So what I'd like to talk about today, besides just saxophone, we're going to be talking about some voicings. We're going to be talking about some rhythmic concepts, some improvising concepts. Really, really stoked. I love this material. They're things that I've been developing for a long time, helping a lot of students out over the years, teaching online, teaching in person. So I'm really, really passionate about this material. Before we get going, I want to let you know about something really cool. I'm doing an inaugural saxophone intensive. This starts in early September. September 2nd is when the materials will be dropped. And then every Tuesday, we'll be doing weekly sessions right here on Zoom, basically. And we'll be getting into a lot of stuff during 6 weeks. It's going to be an amazing course. Really hope that you guys can sign up for that, enroll in that. And this is sort of I would say a little teaser about what we're going to be covering in that course. Some things are going to be saxophone related. Some things are going to be just improvising related. So jumping right into it, there's something I love to work with, and that's called the blues voicing. It's something I developed a few years ago. If you are familiar with the blues, which I hope you are, it really revolves around the 1 chord and the 4 chord, right? So that being said, let's talk about the blues in F. Okay, so the blues in F. Can everybody hear me? You guys can hear me? Okay, cool. So we're talking about the blues in F. So on alto, I'm in the key of D. So my 1 and my 4 chord would be D and G. Right? So if we were to look at what makes a dominant chord, it really comes down to the major third and the flat seven. Okay. So in concert pitch, in F, the major third is a concert A. The flat seven is E flat. Okay. In concert pitch, for the 4 chord, the major third is a D, and the flat seven is an A flat, right? So if we were to combine both thirds and sevenths of both the 1 and the 4 chord, so they're 2 tritones, and they're a half step apart. So I like to call this the blues voicing. So from an F, I'm going to drop an F in the bass, and then I'm going to play both tritones. Right? So I'm working on getting this kind of altered dominant sound. Really, where it's coming from is kind of an F sharp 9 13 sound, right? Sharp 9 13, right? And that really is the spirit. To me, that's really the spirit of the blues, and I love that. I absolutely love that sound. So what I'll do sometimes to warm up, and I think it's a really, really great activity on your own, is I'll use this blues voicing and I'll just kind of improvise riffs on it, right? So I'll go. Right? And I'm just using those really four notes and sometimes the root. And I'm just trying to get into my rhythmic vocabulary with that. And honestly, I'm trying to connect my fingers and connect my ideas. And so that blues voicing really helps to kind of just remind me why I play the saxophone. You know, the blues is a constant reminder of like, what is this music that we're playing? Why do we love it? It's all right in the blues. Excuse me, sorry, let me just take that down. It's all right in the blues. So if we were to go back to that voicing, that closed voicing, right? Let's try to find different voicings in there. So what I'll do is maybe I'll move that third note to the top, right? So now I'm creating a more spread voicing, right? Same notes, more spread voicing. So that's the kind of thing that I love to sort of extrapolate on these closed voicings. I like to expand them, right? So maybe I'll move a couple notes to the top as well. So maybe I'll move that D up, right? Right? I'm just basically finding larger intervals, more stretched out voicings, really, really expanding the intervals. So that's the kind of work that I love doing with my students. And it's something that I do quite a bit on my own. So that's just an introduction to the blues voicing, introduction to expanding voicings. It's things that you probably hear a lot in other people's playing, maybe even in my playing if you listen to my records. And it's really what colors a lot of lines. Anybody have any questions so far? I see a couple of you guys hanging. Want to see how you guys are doing. Any questions about saxophone? Any questions about harmony? We're going to get into some other stuff. So one other thing I like on the blues, I like taking rhythms from melodies, right? So like for instance, straight note chaser, and I like trying to find other notes to replace that rhythm with, right? So for instance, if we were going to use this blues voicing to create our own melody on that rhythm, it kind of forces us to think, how are we going to fit our melody notes inside of a pre-existing rhythm that comes from another melody? So it's kind of a cool exercise. So let's try it on the blues voicing. I'll play an example. Right? So you hear how it's kind of hinting at the rhythms that we learned from a tune like Thelonious Monk's Straight No Chaser, right? Ba-do, ba-do, ba, ba-do, ba-do, ba-do. And it's going to be different every time. Right? And it's okay if sometimes flub a note or whatever, you're getting into a rhythmic exercise and improvising in a different way that starts expanding what you're hearing, how you're hearing. And so it kind of is a limitless exercise. You can do it for hours and hours and hours and can kind of find new things. And this is a great entry point for kind of new improvisers, as well as, you know, anybody to just expand their melodic sensibility and also their rhythmic ideas, right? And if I were to do larger voicings, it sounds really cool too. 1, 2. Right? So I'm really trying to get inside of a rhythm, right? If I slow it down, it's maybe a little more apparent. 1, 2. Right? So if you're just joining us, we're using a blues voicing, which is essentially the tritone of the 1 chord and the tritone of the 4 chord, the third, major third, and the flat 7. And we're kind of using it on the rhythm of Straight No Chaser, right? So these are just some ideas that I do with my students. I love just helping people kind of expand their own creativity. If you're interested in signing up for this saxophone course, I'm going to put it in the chat, a link to where you can check out this course. And it's really going to be a lot of fun. It's a 6-week course starting on September 2nd. You can check it out here, right there at Calendly. If you have any questions, please let me know. So today we're basically going over some ideas and some concepts that will be going much more into detail over this 6-week course. So let's go to some saxophone stuff, okay? Thank you guys for joining me, and I appreciate all the support and all the love. It's going to be a big year. Well, it's been a big year for me. I'm releasing a record. My first single from this record comes out this Friday. If you're at Sam First on Thursday, come by. If you're in Los Angeles, I'm playing a show at Sam First this Thursday. The single is out everywhere on Friday. The vinyl's being cut right now. It's really, really exciting. Thank you for all who supported. The album is out September 19th, playing in Blues Alley September 16th, in DC. Also be in Europe playing some shows. If you're in France, I'll be there playing a show with Baptiste Urban in October 1st, 38 Riv. So yeah, it's been a big year. I'm getting married too, which is amazing. I'm really, really stoked. So thank you guys for being with me on this journey. So some saxophone stuff. Some stuff that I love to do on saxophone is gaining more flexibility and gaining more understanding of how I open my throat and how I expand my diaphragm, open the throat, relax my embouchure. These are all things that I go into real deep detail with all my students, trying to get a warm, flexible, pronounced sound that is defined, right? We want to define sound, right? That's what we're going for on really any instrument, but especially alto saxophone. For those who play alto saxophone, really want a defined sound, right? So let's talk about how we get some more flexibility in sound. One of those things is overtones, right? A lot of people talk about overtones. Okay, overtones. One thing that I like to do on overtones is tone matching. Now, this is something I learned from the great Mark Turner. So you take, let's say, your low B flat, right? So that's low B flat. Now, if I were to kind of voice the overtone here and then match the overtone with the actual fingering, it'll sound like this. So here's low B flat, and then I'm going to get the octave above. Now I'm going to switch between that overtone fingering that looks like this, like that, with the low B flat, and the fingering for the note, right? And I'm going to try to match the tone quality of that overtone. Right? You might hear some intonation differences because, pitch changes on the overtones and stuff like that, but we're really going for timbre, right? What is timbre? Okay? Ask yourself that. What is timbre? Timbre is more than just a color. It's a whole it's the definition of your sound. It's more than just how much air there is, how warm it is. It's so many layers of depth and so many layers of color that create timbre, right? So we can do this expanding up on these overtones. And if you really want to challenge, you won't use the octave key. So that's some saxophone annoying stuff that I'll save your ears from. But that's some stuff to work on. And as you heard, I went up into the altissimo, right? Up to an altissimo B flat. So this is a great way. A lot of people ask all the time. My students ask, how do I play high notes? How do I play my altissimo notes? This is a great way to get to the altissimo, right? Okay. Another thing that I think is well overlooked on saxophone playing is flexibility of sound. What is flexibility of sound? Any questions so far? Happy to take some questions. And if you're just joining us, we're covering a lot of different stuff. A lot of stuff that we'll be going over in my Saxophone Intensive, which starts in September. You can find that link in bio, or actually the link right there. 6-week Saxophone Intensive. Sign up. So if you're interested in signing up for the Saxophone Intensive, would love to work with you. It's going to be awesome. There's a lot of stuff that we'll be talking about more in depth. And the thing is, these ideas, these concepts, they don't just happen overnight, right? These are things that you kind of have to work on and sort of, let them marinate, let them become epiphanies that happen over and over and over, especially the harmony stuff and a lot of the sound stuff too. So getting back to saxophone stuff, I'll take like an A natural on the horn, right? So this is not a concert A natural, concert C. And I'll lip down. I'm going to lip down 2 half steps just to practice kind of this whole mechanism here, right? The throat and lower jaw mechanism, right? We're kind of expanding ah. We're thinking ah. So that's the note we're starting with, and then I'm going to lip down. I'm not going to play half steps. I'm going to lip down. Check it out. Right? So I'm not squeezing. I'm not pinching. I'm controlling the pitch all here, right? So I can try that on A. I can try that on A flat, right? and G, that's kind of the sweet spot to do this. So I'm really trying to get control of this whole mechanism here on the saxophone. So this is a really great flexibility exercise. I think it'll be really, really effective. Any questions, guys? Super happy that you guys are here. Thank you so much for jumping on with me. We have a 6-week saxophone intensive coming up in September. We'd love to see you there. I'd love to work with you. It really will be a very intimate, small class. That I just want to work small class that supports each other, that learns together. A lot of PDFs will be involved. Speaking of, I want to get into some other ideas with voicings. Any questions so far, though? Any questions so far? Okay. Speak now or forever hold your peace. We'll have a few minutes left. Where's everybody from out there? Where's everybody from? All right, we got a shy group. So let's talk about building voicings, right? So let's work on a major triad. Let's just work on a major triad, right? It's a great foundation. So I'm gonna start with a B flat triad, concert B flat, G on the alto. Hey guys. Hey Doc. Good to see you. So if I'm working with a major triad, right, I can add a major 7 on the top there. Right? Fresno, nice. Nice, Michael. Good to see you, man. So I can add a major 7, right? So if you don't know your inversions in all 12 keys, must do it. So when I'm talking about inversions, I'm talking about root position like I just played, then inversion starting on the 3rd. That's inversion number 1, first inversion. Second inversion would be starting on the 5th. And then for the ones that have a 7th, the 3rd inversion starting on the 3rd, right? So let's just play that. Right? So the most interesting one to me is that 3rd inversion, right? So if we're starting on the 7th, let's say in this case the major 7th, I like doing exercises where I just go all the way up, right? Right? So that's a really good technical exercise to do. The application that I love to use on there is that you can use the relative minor, right? So let's say we're starting on concert B flat, major 7, right? We can use concert G and play, and basically we're voicing a minor 9 chord, right? So right? So that's a great way to get into a minor 9 sound, right? And it's a good way to start voicing from a place that's a color tone, like the 9th, as opposed to, always coming from the root or coming from the 3rd. Sometimes starting on the 9 is a really nice place to get your lines flowing from. So if you're just joining us, we've been talking a lot about improvisation. We've been doing some voicings. We've been doing some rhythmic exercises. We did some flexibility of sound, some overtone stuff. I'm super, super happy to be with you guys. Thank you so much. I might keep. Thank you so much, Andrew. I might keep this up for a little bit. It won't be up for very long. But I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you. I'm offering a saxophone intensive course. I think for those of you who've been here, you've heard me talking a little bit about it, but it starts September 2nd. The materials will go out. And then every Tuesday, we'll be meeting for 75 minutes. It's amazing opportunity to work with a very small group that I'll be leading. specifically on saxophone stuff, but we'll be getting into all this stuff. And I really would love to work with you. It would be an honor to really just hear you guys and to play with you and to work in depth on all these things, because all these ideas, although maybe they sound simple and maybe I'm making them sound simple in my demonstration, in order to harness the entirety of the concept, it takes a lot of work, a lot of dedication. And I want to help you with that. And actually, I've seen the result of all these things, especially these sound exercises. I've seen the result of how quickly it can open up your sound, how quickly, working on it the right way and with dedication can really like define your sound. So those are things I'm really passionate about. I love teaching. And thank you guys so much for the support. If you are in LA this Friday, if you're in LA this Thursday, I'm playing at Sam First. If you're anywhere in the world this Friday, I'm releasing my first single from my album, Balance Eternal Realm. It will be out. It's called Saturn Ring. I'm really stoked to share this one with you guys. It's very cool, very funky, really fun, kind of an outer space bebop funk jam. It's great. I'm super happy with the way it came out, and the album will be dropping September 19th everywhere. Thank you to everybody who's been just really supportive of this process of me putting this album out. As well, on September 16th, I'll be in DC playing at Blues Alley. If you know anybody, please send them my way. Would love to see them. And yeah, would love to take some questions for the last couple minutes if there are any. Thank you so much for joining this. My name is Danny Janklow. I don't know if I need to introduce myself so late in the game, but I'm a saxophone player, composer. I live in Los Angeles, and been doing music for over 20 years. I've had the pleasure of recording and playing all over the world. Recently, I recorded on John Legend's album. I recorded on Kamasi's album just a few weeks ago. So excited to share my own project with you. My fourth album, Balance Eternal Realm, will be coming out September 19th. First single comes out this Friday. So stoked. If you guys are interested in learning from me, I do teach one-on-one lessons. You can sign up on Calendly. And for the first time, I'm offering a 6-week saxophone intensive. The link is right there to sign up. Would love to work with you guys. All of the classes will be taped, and all of the PDFs will be sent. So it's all going to be documented, so you can take the class at your leisure. If you miss a class, you can have the recording of it. And I think it'll be totally beneficial for you. So I would love to see you there. Thank you so much. Any questions for the last minute or two? Awesome. Really, thank you guys so much for joining. Happy to stick around for a couple questions if there are any. Really stoked to work with you. Check out that 6-week saxophone intensive course. And if you want to just sign up for an individual lesson, I welcome that too. I love teaching one-on-one. Music is not just my job. It's not just my journey. It's also my life's passion, so I love helping people overcome their obstacles. I've overcome a lot of obstacles to get where I'm at. I'm super thankful for all the teachers that helped me overcome those obstacles, and also just for the patience and dedication I've had, just getting my sound together, getting my chops together, getting my harmony together, getting my reading together. So I'm super happy to help in any way I can. If there's no questions, I'll be off very shortly, but I want to thank you all so much for attending this today. And let me know if you do have any questions about anything we worked on today, or if you have any questions about the 6-week saxophone intensive coming up in September. Would love to see you there. Any questions? Going once, going twice. Thanks, Michael. Hope to see you again soon, man. Yeah, we covered a lot of ground in like 20-something minutes. I threw a lot at you. I hope you guys can can attend some of my master classes on or book a lesson with me, I'm happy to work with you. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Cool, man. Thank you guys. Well, I'll see you soon. I'll leave this up for a little bit, and then I'll see you guys hopefully in the 6-week Saxophone Intensive starting in September. There's still time to sign up. The link is there. And thank you guys so much. Take care.